So I'm just gonna pick the yellow prop plane. A Savage Cub for this flight. Now I need to find Koh Samui in Thailand. I think my internet connection is not 100% because it's not coming up, or maybe it's just not recognizing the way I'm spelling it. Koh Samui. Koh Samui. No, it's not coming up. So I know where it is. Just gonna use the map and zoom right down onto the island there. I want runway, I want 35, so I can take off north to get to the exact area. I need to change the weather to clear and the time to about midday, so I can see clearly what I'm doing with the scenery. I'm just going to have a look at Google Maps and see the location of Big Buddha. It's on a tiny little island just off the coastline. It should come out on the flight simulator as a tiny island. It's not that high, it's not hardly any elevation. There's a little bit of elevation on the island. It probably won't be picked up on FS, so I'm just having a look around Koh Samui Airport to see how the stock design is. It's not too bad. It looks better from above. It has changed over the years. I noticed the gate areas are circular, which is correct. So that's pretty good. And that's the arrivals with one carousel, so that's come out okay, but these buildings in the background are definitely too high. I think the building regulations in Koh Samui is no higher than a coconut tree, only in special circumstances. These collection of buildings on the coast doesn't look right. This is the auto, the AI, so there's quite a few ferry piers on this beach. They are coming out on Bing Maps, but don't have any structure. And the main pier is not really coming up, so I'm going to take off. And I think my trim is incorrect, because I seem to take off straight away. But the idea is to get to the location where I need to change the scenery. Yeah, trying to adjust my trim. So as soon as I get to the right location, I'm gonna pause the simulation and then go into developer mode. I've already designed the model and done the right things to it. So you can see the tiny little island just above the nose cone. It's connected by a causeway, and just it doesn't look right without this famous landmark. So I've paused it now. Gonna go and set developer mode on. Then developer camera. Now I need to navigate. Well, that's not right. I need to navigate away from the aircraft. That's better. and go roughly overhead. That's the little island. I see the AI has put some kind of structure where the big Buddha should be, but there's no Buddha images, no temples really automatically created. So I'm gonna put my own one in. That's the exact location. It should be quite easy to insert. So project editor, I'm gonna open the project that I've made, Big Buddha. Wait for it to load. It's come up pretty quickly. I'm gonna build the package. This can take a bit of time. Just gonna wait for the console to come up. There we go. I'm gonna close the console now. Highlight. Load in the editor. Now I need to view the objects and wait, because it can take quite a long time to load all the assets in the area. Now eventually I'll be able to search for Big Buddha. There we go. Gonna type in Big Buddha, and there it is. Highlight and add. There's my model. I need to just move it around and rotate it. Adjust the scale. It needs to be reduced. Now I need to untick snap to ground so I can raise it. It should come up now, properties. No. Properties, untick snap to ground. So I should be able to raise it higher if I need to. Adjust the scale, make it a little bit smaller. So the autogen is going to be covered, so I don't need to remove the autogen at all. And there's a stairway. So really I shouldn't raise this up too high. I think in the final model it's a bit too high. I can adjust that later. It's actually in a perfect position. That's too high. That's too high. I should have left it in the original position. But it's too late now. So I'm just going to fast forward all my moving around and rotating. Gonna save the scene. Should be in scene. Big Buddha shape. Big Buddha. Scenery files only. That's all saved. I'm going to build it one more time. Just to make sure. Wait for the console to come up. That should be done. Close it all down now. It'll disappear. Come out of the camera, developer camera. Now exit the program. All I need to do now is get to the packages, copy, and go to my community folder and paste it into the community folder. Just restarted now, and I'm pretty confident it's going to come up. Taking off again. Just checking the yoke. It quite often disconnects, but after the patch they have improved it because you can now cycle the USB connections without it crashing as much. So if it does become disconnected, the yoke, you go half a chance of actually getting it going again. Adjusted the trim better now. That's much better. I do believe I can see the structure in the distance. Yeah, I can see it's the red building on the island, which is good. It's looking like I've brought it a bit too far in the sky, but I can always go back and readjust that later. So as any pilot knows, when they're landing in Koh Samui, it's just not Koh Samui if Big Buddha's not on the approach or the departure. Looking pretty good. Again, it is, I do think I need to lower it slightly. So I'm just heading off. There's Koh Phangan in the distance, and these little island below is Koh Som. The only complaint I've got with the auto-gen trees are the complete lack of coconut trees, and anyone who's been to this area knows that these little islands are completely covered in coconut palm. So the default vegetation is definitely not right. It needs a bit of attention. There's nothing like that. The island's pretty close, but the vegetation is completely wrong. The same as Koh Samui, it's full of coconut palm. More coconut trees, that's what the simulation needs. I'm going to try and do a good fly past. Try and get a good thumbnail for YouTube. there's the shot coming up. That's looking pretty good. I haven't gone too far into texturizing because really it's intended for flying, not actually going visiting. It just makes a lot more work doing proper textures. Landing back into Samui the wrong way.